Hey, good morning, everybody. Alexis here. So very exciting. I'm at my girlfriend's place, at her on her balcony here in Berlin, which is really really nice. She has a great apartment, and just got out of the shower and also just put on my clothes, with which is, by the way, the trigger for me to record a video. Whenever I put on my adult day clothes, which is this shirt anyways, then I'm recording video. Um, okay, so what I wanted to talk briefly about today was how I made a plan back in the day on basically cutting off and sort of stopping everything that I was doing, and then starting something new. And I think there's a few things to making a plan, or even making the decision to do some drastic changes in one's life. And yesterday, I think I thought it was really interesting, is to um, sort of realize that giving up a habit that wasn't working for me isn't as simple as it sometimes seems. So I think it's even things that aren't good for us sometimes are hard to leave because they are also part of us in a way. And so I discussed that yesterday, and I think I hope you get some inspiration from that. And today I think it's more about making the decision and moving forward. And moving forward, I think the first step is to have a plan. So back in the day, when I realized my meditating and my gym and my regular yoga classes weren't working for me, um, I made the decision, basically I need to change it, and then the plan sort of offered itself relatively quickly, but I did look for it, which was teacher training. So it's so crazy. I went to one class of Kundalini yoga. It worked so well. So that's the backdrop, right? So I'm in my first Kundalini yoga class, and I sit around people of any age and any physical ability. So it's very different, or I feel already very different. I look to my left and there's an old woman, and I look to my right and there is like a 18-year-old dude, and in front of me sits a 40-year-old mom, and behind me sits a, I don't know, a 70-year-old man, and they're all able to do all this stuff, which is something which I actually, now that I think back to it, this was one of the aha moments, an epiphany also for me. It was that yoga and meditation and all of this good stuff that humans have carried forward for the last like 10,000 years, this is not a matter of just athletic performance. So I see yoga, even like the like hatha, ashtanga, and vinyasa, it's all very athletic. And if you're not like as flexible as a dancer, then you then I'm not gonna be able to attain enlightenment and liberation. What the fuck? I always thought it was like so ridiculous to even think that yoga and meditation has anything to do with flexibility. So I mean, I've said this before. I'm not very flexible. I'm actually pretty stiff, not super stiff. I do my yoga every morning, and I'm like somewhat flexible, but I'm not a dancer, and neither should anyone have to be in order to um, you know, feel really great about themselves and and to use the technology of yoga. And so I think this was the first big moment of making a decision, which was I look around me in that first yoga class. There's all kinds of people of all kinds of walks of life. It was a slice of New York, as beautiful as you can imagine. Like just this group of people, and they were good people, good teacher, and I thought to myself, yeah, this is this is the kind of people I want to have around me, and I want to also learn how to teach everyone to breathe better as we're talking, or do better yoga, or just feel better in general. So I don't know where I'm going with this right now. This is just also me exploring, talking out loud as opposed to writing it out. So thank you so much for bearing with me on this. Um, Originally, I wanted to talk about a plan. My plan, as soon as I saw that, was I'm gonna go to teacher training. I looked for teacher training. I informed myself, And lo and behold, there was one, and I made a plan to cancel out any subscriptions or any sort of courses I was going to up to this point, which I think is pretty significant. So um, I I guess a decision is always, from Latin meaning, you cut something off. I think I made a decision to change my yogic practice radically, and with that decision, has to come that I'm gonna stop going to let's say martial arts, which was a great school, by the way. I really enjoyed going to martial arts, but honestly, I felt like I could either do one or the other, and do it well. I've once read, do it half, not half-assed. So I'd rather, you know, um, just focus on one thing, which I did. I focused only and exclusively on Kundalini yoga and Kundalini yoga teacher training, and it liberated me, not having to do all the others or feeling so like I didn't look back. I still look back fondly to the martial art class, which was a great teacher. I really learned a lot there and made a lot of great friends. But I never went back and felt like, oh, I should have never stopped going there. And same with the yoga classes I had gone to before. Generally speaking, I never felt it was a bad decision. So I guess the first thing is make a decision, and then make a plan, which in my case was a yoga teacher training, and then start executing. Obviously, start doing something, because there's a great book that I've actually almost religiously read this year, which is called 10x by Grant Cardone, and it's basically saying that anything that you want to do, if you look at it and you think, oh, it's going to be so easy, it's probably going to take 10 times 10x the amount of work that you think it needs. And it's sort of, it's, first of all, I think it's true, and second, I think it's so helpful to start with that assumption. So in my case, well, back then I hadn't read that book. I was like, I'm gonna just do teacher training and I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna teach everyone. And what I didn't know was that it was going to be 9 months of grueling, getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning, taking cold showers every morning of the day of the year, for 9 months until I really was ready to teach. But that's for another time. For today, I just want to leave you with, if you want to change your life, make a decision that you want to change your life. 2, make a plan. 3, expect the plan to not work out the way you think it will. In fact, expect that you will have to do 10 times more than you think you will have to do. And 4th, just start. So thanks so much for watching and hearing me rambling. This is Alexis, and I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye bye.